Hey, how's it going, guys? Darkened Cyrus here, and welcome back to another episode of the Dark Podcast. Guys, I hope y'all are doing all right tonight. Guys, how are y'all doing?
And executioner.
Man, I am fantastic. Give me 1 second. I think I posted. I think we got chat coming through now. I hope we got chat coming through now. Alright, let's see.
The battle is about to begin.
Alright, maybe we got chat coming through, guys. Again, we're taking a little. I think I had everything set up beforehand, but we're having a little bit of issues on this end.
5.
Oh, this is the issue right here.
3, 2, 1. Let the battle begin.
All right. Nope, that did not work. Why is this not working? Oh, no wonder. It was working the whole time. Guys, y'all doing all right tonight? All right, so go ahead and tell me. I want to make sure that we have everyone in here that we know that we have in here. So let's go ahead and introduce ourselves, the special guests for tonight, and just go ahead and give us a little bit about who you are. Tell us about, just how you know me, etc. Everything that you have there. Just go ahead and give me just a couple of things. Let's start with Tupeleki. Okay. All right. So up next,
Overtime. Enemy killing spree.
let's do Eli.
Capture the objective.
Alright, cool. And let's go with Darth Luntz here.
Enemy rampage.
Alright, Luntz, you there, man? I guess we don't have him here. Who else? That's fine. No big deal. All right, so I think we'll just start with the two of us. So, I guess we'll go ahead and start off with the first question and go ahead and jump straight into it. I'm pretty excited for a few of the questions tonight, just because the nature of the questions. So here's question number 1. This is a question that was brought off with. This was Elias Guapo. This is his push for tonight. I want you to go ahead and tell me what is your favorite game, but also tell me what is your why is it your favorite game? What is your favorite game? You know, where did you play it? What console? Like, why was it your favorite game? Eli, let's go with you, man.
Seconds remaining.
Okay.
So like, I'm kind of more into like games I can play with my friends, not solo. Because really just for me, it's just the experience, not really running through quests or anything like that.
15 seconds remaining.
Okay. And so you're just trying to say the best part of gaming is not necessarily the game, but the best part of the gaming is who you play with.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay. And let me ask you the next part of this. I think we have almost everyone's audio coming through. It's saying Afterburn only Cyrus audio at the moment, but I think I'm sending everything.
I unmuted to tell chat that I'm here just so the Paladin's background content is not all losses. Okay, I'm remuting myself.
Okay, I got you. All right, so yeah, we're also talking about what our favorite game is. Tupelki, go ahead and tell me, what's your favorite game and why, sir?
My favorite game? This is a little complex. If it were favorite game throughout, like, every game I've played, even taking into account things like nostalgia, maybe they're not the best, but things I have nostalgia for,
okay,
it would be an old RPG on PS1 called Legend of Legaia, just because it was so innovative, and it's such a hidden gem.
Okay.
I just have a lot of good times playing it.
Now let me ask you,
I try to play it every year.
Okay, and do you play emulator, or do you actually go back and try to do for real school and pull out an old PS1?
I actually have a PS2 and I have the physical copy of the game, and I do try to play the physical copy every year.
Alright, well that's good. I do like the fact that when people have their favorite game, they do like to take the time to invest not only themselves in that game, but playing that game on the original console.
Yeah.
Just because of how nostalgic that might be. Alright, so we got a couple people in chat. Afterburn, welcome to stream. If you don't mind answering that question, I'll read that answer out onto chat. I think that would be actually amazing. And I don't think anybody else is here with us, so I think we'll hold that question there. I would love to answer that question, so if y'all want, I'll go ahead and jump into that for myself. So I think my favorite game overall, if I were to think of all time, what was the one game I invested the most time into?
You better not say Destiny.
No, I'm not gonna say Destiny, because as great as Destiny is, and as many hours as I have in Destiny, it's not like my most applauded game. So the game that I always come back to, and this is every year, I always want to play this game, is some form of any kind, is a Pokemon emulator of anything. I have the originals, I have all of them, I have Game Boy, Game Boy Advanced, you know, anything that's Gen 1, 2, and 3, I love to go back and do that. You know, I did a playthrough of Blue this past year, and I actually did an entire playthrough on the Nintendo DS for
like
the virtual, the reskinned Crystal, where you could actually get Celebi.
Oh yeah, I heard about that one on the 3DS.
Yes, on the 3DS, and I absolutely loved every bit of that. I think I didn't game on console for maybe like 2 weeks during that run. And it wasn't because I hated playing console, it was just that it was so much clearer to me because it was a game I enjoyed.
Yeah.
Pokemon holds a dear place in my heart.
My issue with Pokemon is just it's too grindy for me sometimes. I have to take long breaks from Pokemon just because it's very strenuous. That's why I play Showdown, just because I like mixing it up a lot more.
Okay. So why do you think it's so grindy?
Here's the thing, like when it comes to Pokemon, it's like, alright, all the challenges that I do, it's like, I don't know, like take Madrybread for example. All his challenges, he states at the beginning of the video whether he can do it or not, and he like states whether he thinks he could do it or not.
Right.
When I start a challenge, and if I think I can do it, and I literally look at the logistics of it, and I'm like, yeah, I can do it.
Okay.
But it's gonna be like a 30-hour grind.
His point about the grindiness of Pokemon, the only Pokemon game I've attempted to complete and like actually played was Pokemon White version 2 on the DS. And for the first gym battle, unless you farmed for a really good electric type Pokemon, which at the time was rare to get, you weren't gonna beat the gym. It was just that. And so yeah, the grindiness was a real problem.
Yeah, but I think I think that's the difference between your generation and my generation. If we look at RPGs today, Steve, while you're here, tell us. This is Steve Atron, by the way, great student of mine. Just tell us, what is your favorite game of all? While you got a couple minutes.
Of all, I feel like I gotta pay credit where credit is due, and like the first, or not the first, but like the majority of my life was spent on Minecraft, and so I kind of just want to say that because like I didn't even get into FPSs until like within 3 years, so I feel like I just gotta put credit where credit is due and say that. Like I was like 6 till like even now kind of, but like yeah, no, that was like, and it was mostly on mobile too. Like I don't know.
Yeah, I remember playing on the old days when zombies drop feathers.
yeah.
Okay.
Before chickens.
Yeah, I think I got to say that.
All right, well that's cool. But I guess going back to that point, hold on, Afterburn 85 in Mixer went ahead and dropped his, and it's posted up on the screen if anyone wanted to see it as we're going. Favorite nostalgic SP game series is Resident Evil series, starting with the remake on GameCube. Still play through them. Favorite niche game is Eternal Darkness, also on Eternal Darkness is just it's beauty.
You know, it was one of my most nostalgic games.
Remind me, Burn, Eternal Darkness was the one that it literally went black screen and made you think you had to turn your console off, right? Sorry, I didn't mean to step over your toes there, Steve. Go ahead.
Yeah, no, I didn't know you're like still talking. Anyways, like one of my most nostalgic games, like this is like kind of what got me into gaming. But in first grade, alright, this is before it came out with all of its DS games and all of its actual things. At the time, it's only an online game. Plants vs. Zombies, the original, when it was only an online game. In first grade, that's what I played. And that's all I played.
Oh, that's pretty cool though.
And that's like before it became any like actual game, just the online browser version of it that was the only thing. That's what I played.
Yeah.
For like my entire life.
Honestly, I rethought this question. I'm honestly thinking now either Halo Reach. I'll probably play that for like 3 years.
Oh yeah, Halo Reach.
Or
that's so good.
Hit and Run, the Simpsons game on PS2.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
Those are amazing, dude.
Oh, that game was so good. That game was so good. Okay,
I grew up on PS2, so I can tell you the gems from that console, and that is like top 5 easily.
That's so good. Okay, let me add this one, because this is something that, again, I'm actually stupid amazed that it happened this year. This is a game that we put in so much, and it kind of goes back to the theme I was sitting there. And Burn, you can jump in on this. You know, I'm a game that I absolutely adore, and I will play 1,000 times over at any rate, is Final Fantasy VIII. And I don't know why, it's just that good, and I love that game so much. Sorry guys, I know I'm adjusting this on screen. I don't know why I love that game so much. It was the first RPG we did, but you can go ahead and jump in this, Burn, and tell me. I think RPGs today have less grind, more instant gratification. Their storylines finish much quicker, and there's an easier place to get to the reward, except for a couple games like maybe Dark Souls. But even Dark Souls is like a 20-hour game, and if I think back to
I don't think it's 20 hours
on normal mode. It's 20 hours easy.
Really?
Yeah. But I mean, not extreme. But you know, when you start thinking about games when in my time, like Legend of Zelda, without guides, the only one that's gotten close to the length of Ocarina of Time was Breath of the Wild, and you still could finish Breath of the Wild really quick if you just kind of bum rush the game.
Ocarina of Time will forever be the greatest game ever made.
Hey, welcome, Spartacus.
I didn't realize you joined.
Yeah, I think it's...
You know, I sneak in like a Spartan.
You mean Burn said? You mean they're more fun? You know, in some ways, I agree with that statement, and maybe it's just because when we were younger, they felt more fun. But I don't know if I'm going to agree with that statement fully. There are games now that I enjoy because of the graphics of the multiplayer. I kind of agree with Eli in the fact that I enjoy gaming with people rather than not. So
Yeah.
Anyway, so with my statement that I just made, how would y'all respond to that? I'm thinking of games that today, instant gratification, less storyline, quicker to the end, more DLC related rather than full content games from drop. You know, what are your thoughts on that?
I feel like it is that way. Oh, my apologies. You can go.
I was just gonna say, they don't focus on story. There's no single player based story mode anymore.
Okay.
There's absolutely zero. You get a vanilla campaign and that's it. I mean, Destiny's really kind of the only one, and that's still an online thing. But there's no progression in a storyline. Like Grand Theft Auto, you don't ever meet half of the people that you played in single player mode with.
Okay, yeah, that's true. I do agree with that statement. So what about Tupelki? What do you think?
I think it is like less story based. Like it's a lot of just whatever is fun to play, kind of. Whatever is like nice and like fun to play. A lot of people have like issues with playing games because like they can't play with their friends and stuff. That's a big like thing that people enjoy doing is playing with their friends and stuff.
Okay.
But when it comes to like stories now, I think they're all a little bit like watered down, and they're all like the same in a little bit.
Right. Okay. Eli, what do you think about that statement?
Yeah, I really just I think I honestly kind of like it better though. I'm not sure. Like maybe if I grinded a game and just really loved it, I would like it if it was just straight single player. But wasn't it like something that got me out of Red Dead Redemption 2 when I was playing it? Is because I could never even join my friends, and I was like, this is kind of lame. I don't know.
Okay. I mean, I think I can respect that. And today's culture is very much, I want to be able to play with my friends because y'all, that's what you've been exposed to.
Yeah.
Yeah. Even if it's just doing the quest with your friends.
Yeah, even if it's just doing the quest, it's just that grinding part. After Burn 85 said, yeah, the slog through Final Fantasy 1 on NES. Oh my gosh, Final Fantasy just... I mean, Spartacus, how many hours did we spend on Final Fantasy 8 and 9 and 10 on PS2? Truthfully.
Well, I know just on Final Fantasy 8 we spent at least 100 hours just for story content. That was not even completing the game because it was a 4-disc game.
Yeah. And as great as that is, and then you got to think of other games like Ocarina of Time. We didn't have a guide. Today, if you want to know something, like I'm stuck in a mission, what do? I'll Google the answer. And I think gaming then was more interesting, or in my opinion, a little more challenging, because we had to fail so much to actually succeed.
I remember back in the days, in those days when you couldn't look stuff up, it took me actual years to finish. Like the original game that I was talking about, like Legend of Legaia, that's my favorite game. It took me literally 2 years to finish because it was so difficult. It's regarded as one of the most difficult RPGs just because of you have to optimize every single thing in your party in order to win that game.
Yes, that is so true. And I want to also love Legend of Legaia. I actually really enjoyed Legend of Legaia. Like in general, I thought that was a fantastic game, but it definitely had its hang-ups. All right, so
oh, definitely.
Yeah, do you have anything else to add there?
Not really. That's about it.
Joshua, you have anything else to add?
I feel like the gaming community nowadays is toxic. Gaming is not what it used to be. Gaming was a community of bonds, and really and truly, you made more friends, local friends, because you played. You really just kind of had to go to their house to play. That was your party chat, and we weren't as toxic back then. That's just how I feel about it. Because I've been gaming since '92. I was 4 years old.
Yeah.
Playing the original Mario Brothers and Duck Hunt.
Right. Yeah,
And people helped each other. It was never get good, noob, you're trash, you're horrible. You know,
it was less of a demand to get good and more a demand to just have fun.
Exactly. Yeah.
Games
I think
weren't
I can agree
competitive.
with that statement. I can agree definitely with that statement. But okay, look at today's culture. Look at the last, let's say, 4 years. Okay, talking about crossplay, talking about just everything in general. Okay, you know, do you think that the culture today is more welcoming? Eli,
No.
I said that you were, you can't join.
Yeah, I'm playing Destiny. My bad.
Okay.
You can kick me right.
All right. So, it said that you weren't able to do. Oh, sorry. So, do you think that today's culture is easier to game with your friends? That's obviously an answer, but here's what I'm saying. Do you think it's easier to game with your friends and enjoy the gaming as much as you would, like, if you were at home by yourself doing RPGs? That might be a weird question to answer. Do you think that people can have just as much enjoyment playing online games with their friends as they do playing RPGs that are single player?
Let me ask you this. Did you have more fun doing cheat codes from code breakers and playing Grand Theft Auto 3? Or do you have more fun playing GTA 5 online? Because kids nowadays will never understand just sitting there with printer paper that you took 3 hours to pull up on dial-up and hope to God nobody called. And then you spawned in a tank with infinite health and you made it fly.
Right. Okay.
I remember doing all crazy stuff like that back before I could actually look stuff up. Like I've actually hit some glitches and stuff like that nobody even like. I used to play Grand Theft Auto Chinatown Wars on DSi, and there's stuff that I know about that game that literally no one else knows about. I've looked it up. Like there's nothing like on guides and stuff, just because I played it so much and I was so invested in it, and I didn't have anything to look up. Like it felt more magical back then, I guess. It felt
right. I can agree with that. Okay, so yeah, Subhype, definitely. Thank you for the sparks. Burn said, any arcade in the 90s at the Mortal Kombat cabinet disagrees that we weren't toxic.
I mean, you had the arcades. That was where you did your multiplayer. You went, you play Primal Rage, Daytona USA. Sonic was still on a PC. You played the Simpsons game where you got to play as Bart and you were riding around on a skateboard. I mean, like, the age of arcades it's horrible that the age of arcades is over, because gaming was a social event and you had places to go. At least in my opinion.
Right. Do you think that that's the Do you think that's the best idea? Do you think that we've lost the openness of meeting people, or are we always just playing with our friends, like at the arcade, how we could interact with anyone at any time? Do you think we've lost that?
Really and truly, the term friends is not even a term anymore, because your
Really?
friends are usually Facebook friends. Like, you have your handful of friends,
Right.
but outside of that, like, I mean, there are people that you meet online that you'll never meet ever. You know, like Iceman. We've never met him.
Exactly.
He's from the UK. Be awesome to meet him, but what are the chances that all three of us are going to be in the same spot at the same time?
Right. Right.
It builds friendship,
that's so true.
it brings the world together, but at the same time, there is so much toxicity in the community. You know, when we were 12 and 13, we weren't sitting there talking about boinking somebody's mom and
Yeah.
teabagging them.
Yeah.
I mean, that
Yeah.
GoldenEye, like, we literally had fun throwing 32 remote mines just to see how many would stack up before they disappeared.
That is so true. Oh my!
spent hours
You made
doing that,
me.
and then
You
we
just
would-
made my day with that statement. I need you to know that you literally just made my day with that statement.
We literally just we would stand there, we would stack them all up, and this is just me
wow.
talking to them, because I know that maybe they played it way later, but you know, like me and my brother, like me and Brandon, we would sit there and we would put them on there, and we didn't care who won or who did what. We literally would do that, and then we would take our characters, because KD didn't mean nothing back then.
Nope.
And we would just put our character on there, and we'd want to see how far they would fly when they detonated. And we would laugh. We would sit there and watch them just in the crouched position, moving around, and they weren't moving their legs; they were sliding.
Yeah.
And we
That's
would
so true.
we would giggle in our room for hours over that.
That's so true.
Or you had the cheat codes where you could give them big heads, where they look like bobbleheads, and you play the story mode, and their head was like 3 times bigger than their body.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, you'll never get to experience that in an online game, because the gaming community will say that is manipulating the system.
Well, and the issue with that is, you know,
Safe
today
spaces.
people
That's
really
what it is.
could enjoy that aspect if we just stepped back and realized that gaming isn't such an individual experience. And I would hope that we didn't think gaming is just an individual experience, right? Would you agree with that statement?
I would.
I would hope that we would expect a little bit more of ourselves. All right, so let's move on topic. I think we need to move forward a little bit. So here's
Thank
what I
you,
want to
Levin Medusa, for the sparks.
yeah,
Sorry.
definitely. No, you're good. I want to jump into this next topic. So, Topelki, I would love to introduce this topic, but I think you are going to do a much better job than I am. So,
All right.
why don't you go ahead and tell us what this topic is, because it's your topic.
All right, so like I was saying earlier, like Legend of Legaia has its problems, but it also has like a place in my heart and has it's very big on my nostalgia, right?
Right?
So, what's a game that you personally enjoy and play, but is not necessarily popular, but you feel is a hidden gem? Like it does something that no other game does. And why do you think that stands out from the crowd on what it does?
Spin Tires Mud Runner would be mine.
Okay, and why?
Why? To me, for it to have like a off-road, simulation, it really just looks boring if you watch it, but actually playing it, like you're crossing a river. Like when you play Forza, you run across a river and it's like, oh, it's nothing. But on that game, you literally have to think about how you're going to cross that river, because that could be you lose your truck, you lose your load, the thing gets waterlogged and you can't start it.
Right.
So you have to go and do all that. On PC, it's a little bit bigger hit on PC because you can do mods and you can have like mud trucks and stuff like that. But if it's one of those things like nobody's on and I just don't want to play Forza or I don't want to play Destiny, I'll boot that up and play that.
Okay. And what about you, Topelki? You said that obscure game is Legend of Dragaya. How did you stumble upon that? Like, was that something that you just came upon? Were you recommended that? 'Cause that was honestly a little before your time, truthfully.
I played it with my father. My father said that he took 6 months to play that game, and that he played it every single day, and it was the most difficult game that he'd ever played. And I felt like it was like my challenge to like beat that game. And I felt that game, I felt The Legend of Legaia stood out because of its unique battle system and the way it told its story and the atmosphere it created. It created an atmosphere that I don't think many other games, at least in that time, they did a little bit, but I don't think to the degree that Legaia did. It created an atmosphere of, I guess, hope and mystery, like I'd never experienced before. That might be nostalgia talking, and it probably is, but just for me, I felt the battle system, the way they told the story, and then the way that it was carried out, the execution, all were great things, and all really showed why I love this game.
Okay. Eli, let's jump on you, man. What is an obscure game, something that you normally don't see? What's something that you yeah.
It was on the PS2. I'm not even sure what the name is. It was like, I think it was called Monkey Ball. I honestly don't know. But I was so young when I played it. I swear I had so much fun on the game. The only thing it was basically like Wii Sports, but it was way before Wii Sports.
Okay.
And you actually I could look for it real quick, but it was basically just Super Mario. But it wasn't Mario characters. It was literally monkeys. But I thought it was just so much fun.
It was just so
why.
good.
Yes. And it did not matter if I won or not. I was just playing around.
Okay.
Yeah.
Did you feel like that game defined you as a young player? Did you feel like that was a game that you grinded, or was it something you played just a little bit?
Oh, just played like when I played a long time ago on PS2, I just played that game and Hit and Run. I guess they were like two totally different games, but I thought it was just kind of funny to play around with, and just play with my brother is probably the big thing.
Right, okay. So, obscure game for me, I think, if I'm thinking back to something that I genuinely played a lot, and my brother can jump on this, and people can go research it and find it, and I would want to stream this game. Maybe you can tell me about this, Spartacus, what you think?
Do I feel like you're about to say Eternal Lands?
You are about to hear that. I think one of the biggest games that defined me, at least, for 10 years, I played this game non-stop. And I loved this game. I loved the idea of this game. I loved everything about this game. The grind, the non-stop wanting to improve, wanting to always see what's next. And it's called Eternal Lands. It was an alpha beta game, open source. It was fantastic, and it was a PC game, very low requirements, and it was just, it was
Just to-
wonderful.
Just to add on to it, it's actually available for mobile now, and it runs flawlessly.
Yes, it runs beautifully on Android.
Me and you played it. Like, I remember, we spent 12 hours just PvP sparring.
Yes. I think the longest I played that game, and I hate to admit this, but I think the longest I played that game without leaving my computer desk was maybe 23 hours that I counted. And that was a WTF raid, a 120 plus raid, internet era instance, PvP, just so many things, an invasion that we had. It's very much like, to this day, I actually still I have a PC. I barely play games like that anymore, but I even still, every time I get a new PC, guess what's the first thing I install? It's Eternal Lands. Even though I haven't played it in months now. The economy, the community, it's less than 300 players on at a time. So everyone. I could get on there right now and say, hey guys, and there are people that are still going to know exactly who I am, what I was doing 10 years ago on that game. People that I've made friends for a long time.
Yeah, I mean, you're still playing, I believe, with my character, and it's still a top 200 out of 30,000 people.
It is. And one day I'll show you guys this RPG, and maybe it might be worth. I don't know. Do you think it's worth streaming? Truthfully,
I'm really interested on it. I'm interested from what you're saying. It sounds really interesting. I've never even heard of it.
Let me see if I can boot it. I think I just booted it. Let me see if I can actually. Let me open this up. Let me switch back over to in-game. Let me go to game capture. Let's see if Eternal Lands will pop up. I doubt it's going to pop up here. Let's add a window capture, and let's see if it'll pull up from that. It will pull up from that. Okay. All right. So I'm actually going to I'm going to play it right now. So if you want to actually watch stream, I'm going to full screen it here.
All right, you're on YouTube, right?
I am. I'm on YouTube, Mixer, as well as I'm on everything.
All right.
I know that we would play for 12 hours at a time, especially if it had no drop day, and they would do an invasion.
And actually, no lie, guess what day I just jumped into?
No drop day?
No drop day.
No.
No way. I just literally jumped into a no drop day. However, it's an invasion, and I'm actually on the wrong continent, because I think I'm on the wrong continent. Let me see if I can.
Is it on C2?
I don't know. Let me ask. Where is the invasion? I swear, as soon as I post something, people are gonna start saying, "Hey, what's up? Hey, what's up? Hey, what's up?" Because I haven't been on here in so long. Let's see. I can't remember what it is. What's the server? It's stats. There are 248 people on right now, but there's probably 100 of those that are bots. So there's 148 people on this game. This game is so low requirements. You could play this game easily to Pelkey.
Really?
Oh, yeah. So it's no drop day with a big invasion. I'm going to step outside the store and see how bad this is. All right, so it's actually not...
Honestly, I was thinking about Xbox games that whole time. But just like to the questions earlier, I have to say in Toontown. If you know what Toontown is.
Oh, I know what Toontown is.
I played that game for, honestly, probably... I didn't even think about that. I played that game, that's definitely my most played game for a long shot. Oh my goodness, I didn't even think about that, dude.
So tell me when you're on stream and I'll talk to you about that. I'm actually switching scenes now. All right, so here's Eternal Lands. If you're not on, I'll just kind of walk through it. The graphics are really low right now, and I'm low in really low FPS, just because I'm doing so much. I might actually have FPS limited. Let me get out of here, maybe. Yeah, let me get out of here. Let me jump back to C1. I think I have enough resources. So essences. Let's go ahead and grab some of these, and some of these. Spells, teleport, intercontinental, cast. All right, cool. So there's Suzuki. I guarantee you he's about to say something.
Oh, I remember him.
Yeah, Suzuki is yeah, I need to actually. I'm just gonna turn on some effects.
I remember the longest. Last time I got on, Bushido was still playing and stuff like that. He came back.
Yeah, he did come back. Honestly, he did. Oh, it's a KF invasion.
This looks like a This looks like World of Warcraft, like WoW-esque.
It kind of is.
Dude.
Okay, so here, let me drop into VOTD and then I'll show you what I'm talking about. That's to Nordkarn. I cannot remember which one's the VOTD flag. I feel stupid.
The one with the bear.
Yeah, that's right. Okay, so here's how the game works. So it's definitely a click and move. I need to turn off special effects. I need to actually turn the graphics, toggle special effects, toggle eye candy. All right, there goes. All right, we're pushing up some graphics now. All right, so the game has a very specific play style. So it's very storage based. It's very grindy based. When you die, you actually drop a bag, and you lose the equipment unless you have a very expensive item in your inventory. So like here's a beaver. Oh, sorry, my alert box is currently like really small for some reason. I'm not really sure.
Oh, I just hit 40.
Oh, thanks, man. I really appreciate it. I couldn't see it on my stream. Yeah, I'll just make this bigger. All right, so rank 40 for the boys. All right, so here I'm gonna go ahead and we're just gonna go attack a couple things. I kind of want to go over into KF and let you show how crazy it is right now. There's Snow Bro, Lady Bell, Snow Ghost, Snow Slave. Okay, that's all Snow's alts. So there's the harvesting part of it here. I'll show you this. So if I go over here, I think I have some stuff. So here's a flower. Let me pull off stuff right here. So what you can do is actually harvest the stuff. Hey, girl.
Let me ask you a question.
All right. I'll be right back, guys. Joshua, tell them about this game a little bit.
So essentially, the game is you'll start off on a regular island, and on that particular island, if you are to die, then when you go to the underworld, you have to find your way out through basically the gates of the underworld. And what'll end up happening is you'll spawn back in on the beginner island, and you can go and pick your stuff up. So if you are to die and you're in a PvP area, they will usually take your stuff if you are to not have that expensive item that will keep you from dropping your stuff.
All right.
It's kind of like the best of Guild Wars meets the harvesting effects of like Fortnite, where you're collecting all of your stuff to build. You'd have to go to these spots to gather the material so that you could make essences to heal or to use your magic or things like that. Instead of having, they had a mana bar, but you also had to have the essences to conduct like whatever magical spell you wanted to do. You could take, and like it had a perk system where you could up your dexterity and things like that. so that
Right.
you fought better, and like you had your will stat, which gave you more mana. Most everybody that PvP'd usually used instinct instead of will, because will is really kind of, as a fighter, it's a wasted amount of resources. So, I mean, we played that game for so long. Like, we had our builds down to a science on how we built it. And you really just, you kind of went, it was always better if you had somebody to go with you to PvP, because if you got low, you could disengage from them and get away, and then the other person could engage that person and usually finish them off.
Oh yeah, definitely. All right, so I'm back. So the best thing about this game is it's class based, and you can do it class based. So I'll open up my inventory right here in the middle of the screen. So you have attributes which boost specific things that you can do, like your carry weight or your mana or your health. It also reduces how much damage you take. Your nexus tells you how much of what you can do for a skill, essentially. And then you have it's kind of like RuneScape in a way that you actually have individual levels for each different thing, like attack, defense, harvest, alchemy, magic, potion, summoning, manufacturing, crafting, engineering, tailoring, rangering, and etc. But you can be strictly a person who's just an alchemist who literally goes and harvests, grabs stuff, sits down, very passively makes stuff, and then people who are like that can sell things for a really good price and buy really expensive things in the game, and then still make themselves very powerful compared to the game. Or you can be a person that is a fighter who takes perks that negatively affect you to do other things to make you have higher skills, etc. And this game has a special place in my heart. So I don't want to dwell too much on this, but I'll post you the link and let you. It's literally like a 46 megabyte download or a 56 megabyte download. It's so small.
Dang, that's very small. Yeah.
Yeah, it's very small, and it's something you should just try. And it's better now that it used to be that you could only have one account. And if you could have multiple accounts, but you could not interact at all. And if you did, you would get banned. But now they've made it to where you can have multiple accounts. You can have one harvesting and one training, and have a character that's built to do that and run multiple clients at the same time. So anyway,
so many people got banned for that. Just all the if you traded between each other, they would ban you for that. If it was they knew that me and my brother, me and Brandon played together, so they really didn't get upset if we traded, because they knew that it was two different people.
We tried not to.
It was one of those out of necessity.
Yeah, but we also, the moderators on this, like I said, when I say there's 100 people on right now, it's literally 100 people. And I bet if I said, I bet you there's someone on here that's going to respond to me. It's just what it is. This community has been here. There's people that's been on this game for 15 years. And I think I made my first character in 2005, 5.
That's about when we started, because I started a couple of months after you did.
Yeah. But you could literally run this game full bore, no problems. And you might sink into a really deep thing with this, or you might hate it. Whatever the case.
I'll definitely download it, because this sounds really interesting. And I've never been into classic WoW or anything, so I wouldn't really have the experience. But it'd be good to just check it out.
Yeah, and again, it's all class based, and the economy is kind of in a weird place right now. It's been in a weird place for probably about 6 years. The person who's the developer got kind of money hungry, and everything revolves around a specific item, and the economy revolves around that. But if you're not someone who is constantly trying to be the best PvPer in the world or something, and you just want to passively get on, you can easily be whatever you want to be in this game. That's the benefit. You can do Eternal Lands is one of those make it yourself, do it yourself, be yourself kind of games. And you can be as dependent or as independent as you want to be. But anyway, I think I'll switch back to just chatting. I think I'm going to log off in NC storage here.
I know that how much money did you make off of that game just between selling characters?
So in total from Eternal Lands, I made about $1,300 if I added everything up, selling characters on that game.
Like
And
in
the
real
most-
life money.
Yeah, like $1,300 real dollars. Like I bought in 2008-9, I sold my first character. I bought Aston's first promise ring. I sold a character for $300, and I bought Aston's first promise ring, and then we went on vacation. And then a few years later, I started training specified characters that were used for a very specific kind of task. I was selling characters for like 40 or 50 a pop, and I would sell several of them. It'd take me maybe a few weeks to get them where they need to be, and then sell them off. It's not as lucrative as it used to be because of once people started figuring out, like I was doing it, I was one of only a few people that were selling characters at a time that were low level. Most people were selling really high ones. Once people started catching on to that, everyone started catching on to it. So prices really went down. A character I could have sold for $50 was sold for like $10.
Yeah.
And so, but that's actually, I made my first PayPal when I was like 2007, 2006. And that's where I started doing that. Yeah, Live in Medusa, yeah. I actually, your character, by the way, is still here. I can log into it right now.
Who?
Mom's character. And I actually, my original character, I actually still have that character.
Is that Mom's name?
Yeah, she's Livid Medusa.
I thought she was Mayan Angel.
No, on Mixer.
Yeah, I thought that was because I named her Mayan Angel.
Nah, it pops her up that. But anyway.
Oh, well.
All right, so let's.
Okay,
I
then.
think let's wrap around here because we're getting kind of
She
towards
gets mad,
that.
she's like a livid Medusa.
We're getting close to this hour mark, and I have one more question for everyone. And I want you to actually take some time and invest some time. This will be the last. This will be the last statement. Why is gaming? And this is to also people who are in chat. Please go ahead and type your answer for this one and throw it up, and I'll read it. Why do you game? What is your motivation for being a gamer or a person who enjoys gaming? And do you see this as something that will fade away the older you get? Or something that will always be a part of you in some fashion? Why do you game? What's your motivation? And do you think that this is going to stick around? I want to start with, let's start with Topelki.
I feel like I was made to kind of make games, or I'm a person who's very made to play games just because I have, I find playing games just so fun and it's so intrinsic, and I've learned so many things from my favorite games. I feel like it is going to be something that sticks around with me, something that I do end up either doing as a career or something on the side, whatever it may be. I do feel like it's something that I could do. But yeah, I'm a gamer, boys.
And do you see yourself being a gamer because everyone else around you, or do you think that was an influence that just kind of went for you, and it was just normal?
It's just normal for me.
Okay. What got you into gaming? I think that was the other part of it. What got you into gaming? What motivates you to game?
Okay.
And will that?
What motivates me to game? Just What motivates me to game? Probably competition motivates me to game. And what got me into games is probably just my father was really into video games.
Okay. All right, Eli, throw that answer out there. What
All
got
right,
you into gaming? What motivates you? Do you think you're going to continue to game further in life, etc.?
I'll definitely continue to game, just because it's just so much fun and kind of sometimes a stress reliever. It brings a little bit of stress sometimes when you're trying hard to beat the competitors you're playing against. But
Right.
I think I'll definitely play in the future. Probably not like for money or anything, but just to have fun and enjoy it.
Right.
And
Okay.
what was the other part of the question?
What got you into gaming?
I think probably my brother playing it. I just started playing it, and I just knew I had so much fun on it.
Okay.
And that's why I ended up getting an Xbox and after the PS2 and just playing all the time.
Right.
Because I remember during like whatever sport I was playing, I always just wanted to go home and play video games because it was just way more enjoyable to me.
Right. Okay. Spartacus, same question, man.
Stress reliever. Helps you escape reality. Destiny really kind of helped me out when I went through a very dark era of my life.
Right.
You know, I did some crazy things while I played and probably made a lot of people upset while I played in that particular time. But it's kind of always been an escape for me.
Okay.
Now I use it to not think about the things I see on my job every day. Just a way to get away from, I guess, reality.
It's an escape. Second kind of, I don't want to say life, but
It really kind of is, though. I mean, because like right now, I'm like playing Forza.
right.
But then I can go 10 minutes from now and we'll be fighting space dudes that were revived by little floaty ghosts.
Okay.
Or,
All right.
I mean, I could have been Beavis and Butthead way back in the day, farting on security guards at the mall.
Oh, the memories with that. Oh, the memories.
So, I mean, it's one of those things that it's things that you wouldn't normally do in life, like do 200 miles an hour through bricks, or, you know, fly in a spaceship and then go kill somebody and then get revived.
Right.
Or, you know, do special operations, military stuff.
Got you.
It gives you an escape, and it lets you live another life outside of what you normally do.
Okay. All right. All right. Last thing, and this is probably where we'll end off tonight. In 3 words or less, this is for all of you. In 3 words or less, describe gaming to you. They don't have to be a sentence. Just 3 words or less. It could be 3 separate words.
Escape from reality.
I like it. Escape from reality. I think I want to put that as a tag on my channel. Welcome to the darkness and escape from reality. Ooh. Ooh, that's nice. Live in Medusa, I'm going to jump this in here from chat, says, not that I'm a true gamer, but I play with the boys to spend time with them doing something they like to do. And I think that's so true. You know, sometimes, you know, it might sound a little selfish, but to spend time with someone as a gamer, you know, I think of you, Tupelki, and your relationship, you know. I think of my brother, I think of Spartacus and his wife, you know. Everyone has that where there maybe someone beside them or near them spends time with them on a game, and it might be a very big connection for their relationship. for us, what Mom's saying here, she's basically saying that, you know, I remember playing Tomb Raider constantly. So.
I mean, I remember that used to be our only way to communicate with them because they had to go 75 miles away from my father's job.
Yep.
Because they shut down the facility he was at. So,
That's
you
right.
know, and there were times that, you know, you hear me and my brother talk now, and I would say, what, 2, 3 years ago, our connection was really not that strong.
Yep, barely spoke.
And like I was a much different person.
Yeah.
And it took a life event.
Gaming helped that.
I almost, it was like I was in a life event that I almost died, and I realized, you know, you got to stay with your family because you never know if you're going to see them again.
Yeah.
Because you don't know what's going to be tomorrow.
Yep. Yep. I knew we just rabbit holed a little bit there, but important stuff. So, Topelki, you said your answer was escape from reality. Eli.
Right.
What would be your 3 words?
All right. Let's see. Competitive, community, and maybe opportunity.
F is for friends who you and me.
I like that. So you said competition, or you said competitive. All right, SpongeBob,
Community.
don't get me demonetized. All right, so you said community, competitive, and what was the last one?
I already said, oh no. I was like,
Okay.
I'm trying to think of a word like teammates or something, but I don't know.
Okay.
Friendship, maybe.
Comrades.
Comrades, I like that. Very USSR. I appreciate that.
Yes, very. You know, I was playing CSGO and they had, this is off topic, but I was playing CSGO and I finally realized that they had Karl Marx on the side of the wall and train.
No way.
There
I
they
haven't
do.
paid any attention.
All right, Saint 14.
All right, Spartacus, what is your what will your 3 words be?
Connections, friends, excitement.
Okay. I like that. Connections, friends, excitement. I think if I were to throw my 3 words, I haven't prepared this, so maybe let's say maybe I like competitive, investment, and challenging. I think that's a great way to say that. Competitive, challenging, yeah, I think that's the best thing. An investment. Live Medusa says break from reality.
I like that.
Yeah, I like that. So it's a break from reality. Cool. All right, so I think this is where we're gonna. Unless y'all have anything to add, Spartacus, do you have any topic that you want to cover, or anything like that? Or do you want to save it? Guapo, thank you so much for the 10,000 sparks, which for some reason still is not showing up in my alert box very well.
I do want to let everybody know that I may not be joining near as much. Me and my wife are expecting a child in the next 4 weeks.
So exciting.
Just
Yes, congratulations.
Awesome.
Just know that it's not that I don't want to talk with you guys, that I don't want to play. The fatherly duties will be calling.
Right.
But I'll try to make time for you guys as much as I can.
Just when you get the time, just take that break from reality.
I like it.
I'm sure my other son will not let me forget where my gaming roots lie, because he makes sure that we play games every day.
All right, so for some reason my stuff on screen wasn't working. I'm trying something else to see if it'll pop up. Yeah, okay, it's finally working. All right, so I think anything else, Eli, Tupelki, anything y'all want to add today?
Nope.
Mm-mm.
All right, so I think this is what we're going to do. I think if we'll take a moment, if you're watching this as a VOD, if you're coming back to this, if we actually get this uploaded to a podcasting channel, make sure you connect with me on social media. So youtube.com/darkencyrus, twitter.com/darkencyrus, and mixer.com/darkencyrus. I'm making an effort starting this week. My next PR push is actually for Twitter. I'm going to be making a post on Twitter each day, either asking questions or making posts that are just relevant to the content that I'm doing. I posted up a question tonight, which is one of the questions we actually answered in the stream today, which is, why do you game? What's the drive for you? So if you want to if you'll go and drop your comment onto that Twitter post, we'll go ahead and respond to you there. I think that would be fantastic. So I think this is where we're going to probably pull the episode for today. I think this was a great one. Guys, thank y'all so much for coming in. Spartacus, Eli, Tupelki, Steve for stopping by for a little bit. Thank y'all so much for being here.
Thanks for having us.
My pleasure.
Okay.
Yeah, so I think this is where we'll call it. Guys, thank y'all so much. Everyone watching, thank y'all for tuning in. I'll catch you next time, and welcome to the darkness. We'll see you next time. Thanks, guys.
Congratulations, Spartacus.